Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Focus Baseball. I'm Michelle Steele, joined by our fantasy guru, Matthew Berry, and the theme of today's episode is situations to watch, not that situation.
Which is too bad, because I could talk about those abs all day long.
You have those abs. We don't
Sure,
have to talk
of course.
about those abs.
That's why I wear a bulky shirt.
First up, let's talk about the Nationals. Bryce Harper, obviously one of the most hyped players, period. I mean, we're expecting
More
the league
hyped
is
than the
expecting,
situation, actually, right?
Yeah, slightly, maybe.
It's close.
And certainly for the Nationals, you know, future face of the franchise, if not the face of the franchise right now, a lot of electricity around that team. What's the short-term value? What's the long-term value for him?
Long-term value is, there's a reason he's so hyped up, right? I mean, there's a reason he's in the major leagues at 19 years old. But in terms of the short term, he's 19 years old. You look at the underlying numbers of what he's doing this year, walking about 10% of the time, striking out about 18% of the time, and those numbers are very similar to what he was doing in AAA and AA. He's currently hitting .264, as you see on your screen there. That's the highest batting average he has at any level of professional ball other than A ball. He's 19 years old, Michelle, and I understand, look, ESPN is just as guilty of this as a lot of places. We've hyped him up quite a bit, but while he's an amazing real-life story, from a fantasy perspective, I think he is a borderline guy here. I think he is going to, he has some speed and he has some pop, but I think kind of for believe it or not, a poor man's Mike Cameron. He's going to hit about 250, 260 with some power and speed, but I think he's borderline replacement level in 10-team mixed leagues, non-keeper. Obviously, long-term you want him, but in terms of the short-term, much rather have Mike Trout. And I said that when both guys came out. Yeah,
I was just going to ask Mike Trout or this guy in terms of outfielders. There are other options out there. All right, talking about outfield. Speaking of outfielders this time, Adrian Gonzalez, talk about a guy who has moved around quite a bit in terms of fantasy value. You know, at one point he was the best first baseman out there.
Right.
And now we're talking about him possibly going to the outfield. Only 3 home runs so far this season. Buy low candidate?
I think he's absolutely a buy low candidate. I don't know that he was ever the #1 first baseman with Cabrera and Pujols, but he was certainly a first-round pick. I'm a big fan of Adrian Gonzalez. I loved him in the preseason. I'm hanging tough by him. The thing that I like about Adrian Gonzalez, right, is so far this year hitting 39% fly balls, and that's better than he did last year when he hit 32%. His home run fly ball rate just 5.7% this year for his career at 16.5. That's going to correct itself. Those fly balls that he's hitting are going to leave the park. You know he's going to hit for average. You know he's going to get a lot of RBIs. Once the Red Sox get healthy, tons of injuries up and down that lineup, but they just got Euclid back. They're going to get Ellsbury. They're going to get Crawford back. It's going to be a fine summer, and at the end of the day, you'll be happy you drafted Adrian Gonzalez, one of the most durable and safest players in fantasy baseball. I am not worried at all. A total buy low, and yes, the fact that he might get some outfield eligibility, depending on your league settings, is certainly enticing. You like that as well.
Right, definitely known for his consistency in fantasy. Not a guy like Teixeira who's going to go up and down a little bit. Known for being Mr. Stability. Let's talk about...
And plays every game.
Yes.
Never hurt.
True that. JJ Putz this time.
Did you really just drop a true that?
True dat is what I said. Blowing a third save this week. 9.53 ERA. Look at his whip. 2.29 in the last 2 weeks. Do we trust Putz? I tried to rhyme those 2 words, but they don't. Do we trust Putz?
I think you do a little bit. You know, one of the problems with JJ is the home runs. He's allowed 4 this year. He allowed 4 all of last season. So the home run ball is what has really done him in. Other underlying numbers look fine. If you're in a deeper league and you're looking for sort of a handcuff, David Hernandez has pitched very well this year, a 2.25 ERA, 110 whip. A 29-7 strikeout to walk rate in 20 innings pitched. Again, that's David Hernandez, the backup to J.J. Putz. But I believe that he'll be fine ultimately. Like, he's done it before. He's been an all-star. He is a closer with a lot of leash, if you will, or job security. So if I was looking for somebody, I could see him losing the job. He has certainly lost the job before, and Hernandez was terrific last year when J.J. Putz went on the disabled list. But for now, ultimately, I think it'll be fine. I think he's gotten a little unlucky with the home run ball.
All right, finally here, we are going to close with another closer.
I see what you did there.
Yes. You like that? It's
I did.
segue after segue after segue.
Yeah.
Finally, the Nets, Tyler Clippard getting the save on Tuesday. They're kind of doing closer by committee here, but the thing is, do you think that he's going to be is he worth picking up, basically, as closer?
Yes, he is. If you were looking for closers, certainly that's a guy that I would grab. The reason that, Henry Rodriguez, Sean Burnett, there's been a lot of mixture. Brad Lidge was in there, obviously. We still don't know the health of Drew Storen. The thing about Tyler Clippard is he's a really good pitcher. Forget role for a second. He's just a really good pitcher. You see the numbers there. They're fantastic. And in fact, Michelle, since 2009, he has the 4th lowest batting average against of any reliever in Major League Baseball. Hitters hitting just 185 against him since 2009. Wow. Again, 4th best in the majors over that time frame. The guy can pitch. And the question was whether the Nationals were going to move him out of the role that they've been using him in, which has been so effective for him for quite some time. But now that we know that they are willing to let him close games, no question about it, because the skills, the strikeouts he's going to get, all the other things besides saves, he has value regardless of his role. And now the fact that he's going to get some save opportunities, no question should be picked up.
No question should be picked up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. If you need
big saves, yes there. All right.
If you need saves, if you're out there, if you're scrambling around, that's the international sign for scrambling around, by the way.
Like that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get more of this next week
through gold
with this guy, Matthew Berry. I'm Michelle Steele. Thank you for watching Fantasy Focus Baseball.